And he'll let us know.
Oh, he should be there.
You're a lot louder than Louis, you know that?
I am with
With that hammer?
This one's not engineered to pound the hammer. It's only a few pounds. To the most confusing.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are now live.
Mr. Mayor, we're ready. Okay, so with today, welcome everybody to the special meeting on January 20th, City Council Chambers. We'll start with a roll call now.
Counselor Garcia.
Here.
Counselor Yazzie.
Here.
Counselor Piano. Counselor Molina.
Here.
Mayor DePauli.
Here. Pledge of allegiance, begin, join me in the pledge of allegiance, move your hats and.
Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So the first discussion action topic is that it's a request for a funding request for a fire engine. And Amanda or John or both want to come up, please, and tell us how nice this fire engine is going to be.
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. We don't really like bringing these kind of issues to you, but just to let you know, we're here to talk about getting some funding to replace engine 4. So let me give you a little bit of back history about engine 4. It's a 2013 E1 Cyclone 2 pumper, and this one was custom built for the fire department. It only fits 2 firefighters at the back of the truck. I can't fit any more. It's got a command post that we don't use. Everything in this truck was spec'd out, custom made. And it was a great truck until about 2018, we started having problems. So just to let you know, currently has about 54,000 miles on it. But in 2018, we started having issues with like the stop engine light was coming on all the time. And it actually happened 3 times that year where the unit shut off responding to calls. So we were able to kind of get those bugs worked out. 2018, we also had some parts on there that broke. When parts on that truck break, they either have to be custom made or custom replaced through E1, which is in Florida, or we have to get our shops personnel, like our welding shop, to custom made these parts. They're not just regular parts you can get a hold of E1 and ask for like a standard part. In 2020, the radiator started going out multiple times, causing the vehicle to overheat. 2022, we had issues with the stop engine light, the DEF system. That was in the shops about 5 or 6 times that year. That we were able to get worked out. In 2023, that unit was involved in an accident where the passenger rear compartment of that truck was damaged. Now that was covered by insurance, right? But it was sent to Florida for almost a year to be repaired. And since it's come back, we've had nothing but issues. A lot of the gauges won't work properly. The stop engine light is constantly on. So also the water level gauge, we can't get it to read, even though we try to fix it and fix it. These things they keep happening. And then recently the engine started having a really bad knock in it. And we've had a couple other fire trucks when the engine goes bad that we replace the engine. And that usually costs $50,000 more to replace an engine in a fire truck. But with this one, talking to Amanda with the shop, it's just to the point, it's not worth putting more money into this fire truck. It's just issue after issue after issue. It was already on our replacement plan to replace here within the next couple of years, but it's getting to the point where we don't want to continue putting money in there. just to Band-Aid it. We don't want to Band-Aid fix it. It's not fair to the citizens of Gallup, and it's not fair to the firefighters responding to that call that we try to do whatever we can to limp that truck along. So fire trucks are expensive. You know, right now we do have a fire truck on order that is specially built for us because it had to fit in a station. We were actually going to be replacing 2 trucks. We ordered that fire truck in 2024, and we won't see it until 2028. So buying a new fire truck spec'd out is about 3.5 to 4 years wait time. So what we did is we looked around to some vendors that had a fire truck that is ready to go, that meets our needs. Now it's not going to have all the bells and whistles, everything that, you know, that we would like to have on it, but it's a truck that runs, it pumps, it drives, and it's safe. And it can fight fire, and it can respond to emergency calls, which is what the citizens of Gallup need. So we found a fire truck, we found a vendor, they have a stock truck that meets our needs. And if we order it tomorrow, we can have it within 2 weeks, and then we can get it in service. So Matt, let Amanda talk to you kind of about the funding on that part. Get to that part.
Thanks. Okay, so as you probably don't know, some of you, a few years ago, the vehicle replacement fund was created by rolling over leftover money from the city of Gallup up to $2 million a year. That's put into the vehicle replacement fund. So currently we have the funds that are supposed to fund our FY27. That was just transferred into the 375 fund. So that money is available in the vehicle replacement fund today. As Patty just reminded me, keep in mind that's going to limit some of the purchases from the general fund for this upcoming fiscal year. However, I cannot, in good conscience, continue to repair this vehicle. This engine that's going in, it was a L9, or yeah, an old Cummins L9. We're replacing it with the new Cummins i9. If we do that, for the engine itself, it's about $68,000. Being that this vehicle is a custom build, you're looking at custom motor mounts that need to go in. We're looking at custom fittings for the transmission that will have to be built. All of this is going to have to be built from E1 and sent to us, which means we will be short a fire truck for well over 6 months. Well over 6 months when it comes to E1 and getting these custom parts in. I don't think, I'm not a fire chief, but I am a safety officer. I don't think that's very safe for the citizens of Gallup for us to be down a truck, especially a fire truck. I recommend that we go ahead and replace this fire truck, use the $600,000 from 375 vehicle replacement fund, and then of course they already have a CIP in process where they have the $200,000 from Fund 209, which is their fire funds.
And just so what we do, the fire department, in the upcoming budget hearing sessions, you guys are going to see, we've been working on a vehicle apparatus plan, so you guys can see how we want to replace our fire trucks at a certain time frame, how much money it's going to cost. So you guys are going to see that budget year. So just to let you know, every year we take $100,000 from our fire funds and we put it to a side to help buy a new fire truck. So it kind of, that's why we have $200,000. That $200,000 is actually kind of labeled to replace this truck, but here in a couple of years, it's just to the point where we don't want to keep putting money into something that's going to constantly have issues.
Well, John and Amanda, thank you so much for the explanation. If there are any questions, we'll start with Linda. Do you have any questions on that?
What year is this fire truck that you're going to get down to 200 fence?
The one where you want to replace or the one where we're replacing it with?
The one you're replacing it with?
I think it's a 2020, is it 2027? Remember what? They have different stock years. I think it's let's see. It's either a 2025 or 2026. I'll have to look. We have the specs right here, but it's like 40 pages.
So it's pretty new and there's not much mileage on it, if mileage at all.
No, so what a lot of fire truck manufacturers do is if you want to build a fire truck, of course they'll spend your money and they'll build a fire truck however you want. But a lot of fire truck manufacturers, it takes a long time to get fire trucks built. Like the one that we ordered a couple of years ago, we're not going to see until late next year, early 2028. So what a lot of fire truck manufacturers do is they build stock trucks. They take the most common features that most fire departments want and they build a truck that's stock. And they have them and they're a lot cheaper. You know, if we were to spec out this engine, it'd probably be over $1 million. I think the price on it right now is like 725,000. So some of them they use as demos, but they have very low mileage, or some of them have almost zero mileage because they're just a fire truck. It's like going to a car dealership and saying, I want that, you know, that fire truck right there.
But that one, that picture is that you sent, is that?
Correct.
Great,
Yeah, the one that's attached on the agenda item, that is the fire truck.
very much. And did you say you're shorthanded right now because that fire truck we have now is out of commission?
So right now, this truck is out, our tower apparatus, our tower 2, our big fire truck, it's in Albuquerque. It's down for repairs. So right now I'm running both of my reserve engines. And so if we have another fire truck that goes down, then I will have a station without a fire truck.
Thank you very much.
You got a little metal in the house.
I'll drive it.
Ron, do you have any?
I do.
Yeah, man, you could drive.
Chief, first of all, do we work on that truck here in the city shop or do we send it out? The one we're replacing?
The one we are placing, it depends on what the failure is at the moment. Some of the stuff, because again, it is a custom built computer, custom built, pretty much everything on that thing. If we were to replace the engine, we would do it in-house. We just replaced the engine on 2.
Okay.
Engine 2 is a regular unit. So that was just an easy old engine out, new engine in kind of thing. This one, it's all custom, so we would do it here, but we would still have to wait for all of the custom built parts to come in.
Now, you mentioned the ladder truck is in Albuquerque.
Correct.
How many engines do we have left?
So right now, each of
Not,
our,
not including that one.
so right now we have, engine 1 is in service, engine 2 is in service, engine 3 is running. Engine 5 is in service, ladder 1, and then we have a tanker that we can use as a backup.
So you got 5?
Fire
Yeah, no.
suppression apparatus.
So the city's protected at this point.
Correct, correct.
We don't have to sweat anything right off the bat.
No,
Uh,
and just to give you a little bit more information about your question. So like right now, Tower 2 is in Albuquerque. It is an E1 apparatus and the vendor that's in Albuquerque is fixing it is an E1 dealer. I don't want to say a dealer, but they're an E1 approved repair facility.
Mhm.
Some of the issues that they're having with that truck is the electrical wiring. They don't even have the diagrams to fix it. They have to request those from E1. E1 has to send them just that diagram and then they'll fix it. And then if there's another issue, they have to ask E1 for every little thing, even though they're an E1 repair shop.
And E1 is the manufacturer.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. All right. But that's another truck we're talking about.
Correct. Yeah, and the same with the 2013 truck that we're talking about replacing, it is also an E1.
Now, you made a comment earlier about this truck's not gonna have all the bells and whistles. I'm a layman on a fire truck. I don't know anything about them. I figured a pump and water hoses and you're set. What are the other bells and whistles that are not gonna be on this truck that you need?
So when we're talking about, when we spec'd out a fire truck, like our ladder truck that we spec'd out, the crews basically went through every compartment and said, this is what we want to fit in this compartment. This is how we want these things to look. A lot of it is how the compartments are going to be designed, how things are going to fit in the truck. This one is a cookie cutter fire apparatus. Even the one that we spec'd out, we don't have a lot of the bells and the whistles on there just because it costs money. It doesn't make the fire truck run any better. It doesn't make it pump any better. But with this one, without all the bells and whistles, like it doesn't come with the graphics. We have somebody in town that does that. It's just a black over red fire truck. It doesn't have radios in that, so we'll have to use some of this money to install the radios. We're gonna have to put the equipment on it, but we have the equipment. So it's gonna be, like if you went to a car dealership and you were looking at buying a new Ford F-150 and you had the base model versus the Lariat or the King
Yeah.
Ranch.
I get it.
Specking out as a King Ranch, this one is gonna be the basic Ford F-150 out the door that you can drive. But it still does everything that a fire truck needs.
Very good.
So,
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. So I'd like to follow up on that actually in terms of, like you just mentioned, you will need to install radios. I'm curious what other future expenses you might anticipate. If there will be then further expenses after we purchase the truck. In terms of even painting or putting our logo on it, is that anticipated to cost something this fiscal year? And also, is it kind of gonna easily slip into the same insurance policy, or will there be any change in cost for the insurance on it as well?
So about the cost, that's why we're asking 800,000. The cost of the truck is a little about 725,000. There's some cost to ship it here. But that gives us a little bit of wiggle room so we can do the graphics. These graphics that have to be put on there. It'll kind of look like our other fire truck. The vinyl that has to go on there has to be a special reflective type, so our fire truck doesn't get run into in the middle of the night when we're on the freeway or the highway. A lot of the radios and stuff that we have, that's in the current engine, we're gonna try to see, because the radios work, we can take a lot of that equipment out of the current truck and put it into the new truck. It's if we can't, then we may have to order a radio. So we're actually looking to use less than the 800,000, but we just put that in there as some wiggle room just in case.
Okay, so then my other thing was I would just like to kind of restate and confirm for transparency's sake. You're recommending that we do essentially borrow from next year's budget and the vehicle replacement fund in order to do this now. I understand you've made the case for it. I understand that it's urgent, but that does diminish what we'll have available should anything come up next year. Waste management trucks or anything else, any big purchase items that would probably lessen the chances that we could do some other big purchases.
So most of our bigger vehicles, such as solid waste and things like that, those are all enterprise funds. Those are not funded out of Fund 375.
Okay,
375 is for vehicle replacement funds for general fund vehicles.
so
So,
most of those are gonna be lower. This will be probably the
Correct.
highest cost
correct.
you would need. Okay.
Most of the vehicles that we replace for the general fund are what's considered white fleet, and they're the smaller vehicles.
Okay, those are all my questions. Thank you.
Okay, John, so to continue with what Sierra said, I appreciate it, but so that, and we can, the Fund 375. This isn't draining the fund, right? There's enough fund to cover the rest of your expenses. Okay. All right, and the old engines, are they turbocharged Cummins
Yes.
diesels? Okay. And how many water, you guys don't know how many gallons of water this unit holds?
Just, the whole 500 gallons. The new one or the one that we have now?
The new one.
Okay, new one.
Yeah, okay. All right, that answers my questions.
It's nice to be part.
Yeah, 500, just right for a small house fire. Anyway, can we,
I'd like to make a motion that we buy a fire truck.
thank you. Yeah, and I think what we do is just make sure the motion's clear that we're gonna go as recommended, 200,000 from fire fund 209.
Yeah, there's nothing stipulated there.
Oh, there's not, okay.
Just says fund request for a fire truck.
And then it has 200,000 for the fire fund 209, and then 600,000 for Fund 375.
We need to be more specific, Al.
Yeah, it's just not spelled out there.
Is that good? Just 800,000? Projected to fine.
Yeah, I believe we should be specific as far as the breakdown, 200 from Fund 209 and so on. Just so we can have it clear in the minutes.
Okay. So I make a motion, we approve $200,000 from the 209 fund, $600,000 from the 375 fund, to buy a new fire truck.
Second,
Counselor Molina,
Yes.
Counselor Garcia,
yes.
Counselor Yazzie,
Yes.
Mayor DePaul.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
You.
Sorry about that, just a quick thing, it's 1,000 gallons, I had to look through that 30 pages. And everything.
Okay. Thanks.
1,000 gallons.
That's
Nice, heavy.
heavy.
Even better.
Get these wheels on the road. Okay, next item is the approval of the resolution number R 2026-6 to accept the New Mexico Special Appropriations Grant Agreement number 25-ZJ5039 for the wastewater treatment plant. And our speakers today, we're gonna have Red Right, I can't say your last name. Okay, and then, sorry about that, people. I'll learn it. Keegan, Mackenzie Chavez, and I noticed Nicole's here too, just in case. Will Harper.
I'll let Red present if you have any questions for me.
Good afternoon, Mr. Mayor, City Council. My name is Red Gashwaitu. I am the wastewater superintendent for the city of Gallup. The Gallup wastewater treatment plant request to accept a special appropriation grant agreement for an award of $3 million through the New Mexico Department of Finance and Administration with the city of Gallup to plan, design, construct, and equip improvements to the wastewater treatment plant in Gallup and McKinley County. Fiscal impact will be the budget adjustments in revenue and expenses for wastewater capital in the amount of $3 million. And the wastewater recommends that the approval of requested revenue and expenditure budget in Fund 304.
Any questions, Sarah, since you went last, you can go first this time, or did you want to add anything else? Sorry.
Sorry, I just heard him read that out loud. And just to let you know that we actually gonna use this grant money just to buy the materials for the headworks at the treatment plant. Because we only have a time limit to spend this money all by June of this year. And we're already running late on this, so we're just gonna buy the materials to repair the headworks with this grant.
And I'd like to expand. We have $24 million from the Clean Water Revolving Account Fund. That's what we were starting phase 1 of the headworks. So that's the groundwork, the piping, those type of things. This $3 million is going to supplement that phase by purchasing helping the yard piping, the loading stuff, different things like that. This is stuff that we can spend in the next 6 months. The other 24 million will be put into the construction, those type of fees that's going to take longer. So we've got this, we have to have it, whatever we order has to be in and paid for by June 30th. So you can see Exhibit B is what we're looking at doing. And then you can see the funding gap down at the bottom. That is what we're asking the Water Trust Board for and the governor's office this year in the legislature. That was in our legislative priorities. So this is a $40-some million, $43 million project. But this $3 million enhances the 24 we already have.
Good.
Thank you, Frank, for the explanation. Councilor Sierra, you can start if you have any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I do not have any questions on this proposal.
Nicole and Red, see, and Frank, thanks for explaining that to me. This eliminates a lot of my questions. But one of them is on the request, it says with the city got to plan, design, construct, and equip improvements to the wastewater treatment plant. And you just said this is just for materials at this point? That we're gonna approve the 3 million?
Councilor Garcia, that's the legislative language for applying for the
Plan.
Yeah, so I put those in as a resolution because it comes right out of the grant agreement as the legislative language. So my understanding when we do a resolution is that you put part of that along with our scope of work. So I thought you might have a question about that, but it's within the legislative language.
Kind of
The
a
chart
chart.
piece is.
Okay, thank you very much.
Second piece includes the scope of work.
Thank you. Yeah.
And can I point out one more thing? You're gonna have another, if you notice this chart, you'll see that it says DFA AMP fund. That's coming on the next council for another $1 million. So if you look at this chart, that's coming up as an agenda item next council meeting. So that's an additional $1 million.
Which
On the exhibit.
If you look on the G, you'll see it says DFA AMP fund 2025. It's picture. So that's coming up. That's gonna be an additional.
okay. E.
Yeah.
E is in boy. Thank you. Ron, did you have any questions?
I can't see that print.
Oh. Next time landscape, turn it up, big bold letters.
I'm sorry, I forgot my damn glasses at home. Sorry. Oh, thank you. Bless you, man. Bless you.
Just need longer arms.
So if you look at that graph, it's just the very top ones that we're gonna be doing. The very top forms.
Very good.
Okay. So you guys are here. Thanks Keegan, Red, Nicole for finding a way to spend this money in a short 6-month period. You know, it's so important that we meet these timelines. In the past, we haven't. And I just to make it clear, you're gonna buy equipment and material. So you'll actually be buying pumps and screens and stuff like that to go with it. So there'll be big purchases that will be easy to take up to $3 million, and hopefully it'll be available and get out a bid pretty soon. And then when those items are stored, then when we go to construction, they'll be installed. So, all right, appreciate it. Can we have a motion?
Motion to approve resolution R 2026-6 to accept New Mexico NM Special Appropriation Grant Agreement number 25-ZJ 5039 for the wastewater treatment plant acceptance of $3 million of grant.
I second it.
Counselor Garcia,
Yes.
Counselor Yazzie,
Yes.
Counselor Molina,
Yes.
Mayor DePauli.
Yes. At this time, there's no more discussion. We'll just retire.
Yes, ask for a motion to go into closed session. That whole, they can read that whole deed.
Okay,
The motion's gotta be called.
we have a motion to do number D.
I'll make a motion for the council to adjourn into closed session for the purpose of discussing matters subject to the attorney-client privilege pertaining to threatened or pending litigation in which the city is or may become a participant, and to discuss the city's acquisition of real property pursuant to NMSA 1978, section 10-15-1-H7 and 8 of the New Mexico Open Meetings Act.
Second.
Counselor Yazzie,
Yes.
Counselor Garcia.
Yes.
Counselor Molina.
Yes.
Mayor DePauli.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
There's no meeting.
Yeah. And then motion to. Find out when he gets the sign.